Hey, good morning, Pastor Steve again. Yesterday we asked, can God prepare a table in the wilderness? And personally, being a man of not as much faith as I ought to have, I need to go to the source. Romans tells us faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. So I need to go back for some more scriptures kind of to boost my faith, maybe boost yours too. Noted, first of all, when Jesus was dealing with the rich young ruler, remember, and he told him about what he needed to be saved, and the young man went off sorrowfully, and Jesus said, it's easier for a camel to go through to a needle's eye than for a rich man to be saved. And they said, well, who can be saved? And remember what Jesus said over in Luke 18? He said, well, the things that are impossible with men are possible with God. Over in the Matthew account, he said it a little more clearly. He said, Jesus said, with men this is impossible, but with God, he said, all things are possible. All things are possible. I remember also over in Genesis, there's another impossible situation. You remember Genesis 18 account with Abraham and Sarah, and the three men showed up and they made a big feast for them, and they're sitting out there, and he says, oh, by the way, Sarah is going to have a baby. She's 90 years old, but she's going to have a baby. And Abraham said, how can it be, In Genesis 18:14, this angel looked at him and said, is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I'll return to you. According to the time of life, Sarah will have a son. Oh, by the way, his name was Isaac. Over in Jeremiah 32, the prophet writes, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Sometimes we think there is. There's something too hard for God. I don't dictate to God what he's going to do. But when I come to pray, I need to understand there's nothing too hard for him. By the way, the answer to that question is anything too hard for God is given in one place. There, over in the book of Luke, Mary was told that she'll have a child in the first chapter of Luke. And she said, and not only that, remember her cousin Elizabeth, who was old, was going to have a child. And she said, how can this be? And the angel said, with God, nothing shall be impossible. So we ask the question, is there anything impossible for God? Here the angel answers that nothing is impossible with God. Now I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, but I got to keep that focused. It's through Christ who strengthens me, not of my own flesh, not of my own strength. I don't have any of my own, not of my own faith, really. I have to be bolstered all the time by the encouragement of God for others. Over in Mark, we said that whatever we ask for and pray and believe that we receive them, we'll have them. So we need to come with faith to God, pray believing to God. So God, who doesn't change, said this to Isaiah, and I think he says it to us today as well. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Folks, God who doesn't change is still God today. Let us go forward with faith and trust and hope that what he calls us to do, he will enable us and empower us and provide for us to do. That's a little word for today. God bless you, and when you pray, you either believe or be quiet. It's Pastor Steve.